Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I just want to give kind of quick impressions about the EL6 or ES6 and the ET5 Touring Edition launch event that NIO produced last night. However, before I do that, I do want to just quickly thank everybody who commented or reached out to me last month when I kind of had like a medical emergency. A lot of people wished me good luck on a speedy recovery, and I haven't gone out of my way to thank everybody yet or thank you guys in a video. So yeah, I just really appreciate that from, the bottom of my heart. No, for real, I do. As everybody probably knows and understands, like when you have a medical issue, it can be distressing and throw your life upside down, throw you for a loop. Monetarily, it can be very damaging. I feel like I'm quite lucky. I'm in quite a good position, but even so, it still can be challenging. I'm very lucky, like I said. Even just having like surgery, even minor surgery is still surgery. You still, go under the knife. You still get general anesthesia. All these things are still quite serious. So it was a difficult time, scary time. It wasn't a big deal, but it was a big enough deal that, put me out for a while. And I'm really glad to be back. Actually, I was really happy because I got out of the hospital one day before I got to go to Beijing and go to test out the ES6. I was really looking forward to that, and I was like, crap, I might not even be out of the hospital in time. So just genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And if anybody's ever got anything positive from this channel, enjoyed this channel, anything at all, there's ways you can support the channel. It doesn't have to be monetarily. It can be signing up for a test drive with a NIO. It can be just liking and subscribing. Even I encourage you guys all to have an emergency fund like I have. Very useful. I use Yada. It's a gamified kind of lottery high yield savings account. I've been using it for like a year. They've reduced the rewards a bit. I still think it's pretty good. I generally get about 3 to 4% yield per month. I've done better than that actually previously when the rewards were better, but if you do want to have a emergency fund in a gamified fun way to save money, I do recommend it. It's not so bad. Use my code to sign up. You don't pay me anything. Anyway, doesn't matter. Just thank you for your support and your well wishes and everything like that. I do appreciate it. And I really don't want to be like a lot of channels that try to sell you merchandise and just promote garbage. I don't like YouTube channels like that, so I try to stay away from things I don't like and appreciate from YouTube channels. Clickbait. And speaking of supporting me, also if you do sign up for a test drive on the European or Chinese NIO apps, it helps me because I don't have to buy clothes. I keep getting new clothes with my NIO points, so I got this Nomi shirt, which I quite like. It's pretty nice, except for the collar I don't love with the white here, but I like the little Nomi logo. So yeah, like I said, many ways to support, and I appreciate them all. That's out of the way. Let's get to last night. There was a presentation that NIO put together for the EL6 or the ES6 in China and the ET5 Touring Edition. I trust that you've already seen it. If you haven't, go check it out and then maybe come back here. Today I'm only going to focus on the ET5 Touring Edition presentation. I also watched the EL6 one, but for my interest, I think the ET5 is more exciting and special for Europe. And also, I've driven the ES6, and I know a lot about that car already. I don't have a lot to comment on that section of the video. So overall, I would say that NIO has really improved their messaging like tremendously from when they first launched in Norway a couple years back. I thought overall their presentation was really good. I thought it was fast-paced, informative, interesting. It showed me things that I'm personally interested in seeing. Like, I really thought it was cool to see the girl kite surfing or windsurfing in Denmark. That was cool. The catchphrase or the theme of the ET5 Touring is inspired by life. And I thought that, the messaging was really on point with regards to showing you how your life can be improved by having this car. Like, it always, like, marketing speak to me always sounds so cheesy and lame, but like, from my experience, like having a NIO in a lot of ways did improve my life. So I would say that I'm usually quite positive about NIO in my videos. However, probably the most negative videos or content I've had about NIO in general has always been about Europe. Whether it was my experience in Europe with the subscription or commenting on the Norway launch. I did a reaction video to that. So I remember a few years back, I was ever so slightly critical of NIO in the Norway launch event. I remember there were some issues with audio, with language, with some flow issues of the video. I would say that it wasn't bad. I thought it was actually quite good, But for first impressions, launching a new brand, it definitely could have been better. And then you move forward to the greater European launch in Berlin. I think you'll remember there were some technical difficulties, which, those maybe can happen to anybody. It's hard to account for every technical difficulty on a live stream. So there was a delayed start, I remember that. I think the bigger issue with that one was there was some really poor messaging. I remember, I was there at the event. I didn't watch it online, but I remember coming out of the event and being like, everybody was like, can you buy the car? What is going on? Is it just subscription only? Like, it wasn't clear what they were actually doing in Europe. Like, that's why I would say that I was very surprised with the event last night for the ET5 Touring and the ES6. But the ET5 Touring specifically. Firstly, I would say that NIO is really focused on the benefits that the car can bring to the user and all the joy that the car can bring to their lifestyle. They showed you exactly how and why you should get the car. It's very functional, it's versatile, and it's inspired by life. It's inspired by humans who use the actual vehicle. It's kind of, funny, I think, in a way. Maybe not funny, I don't know. But in my review of the ES6, I also kind of took to heart their tagline of life is on. And I was more focused on the joy and the pleasure that being part of the NIO community or owning the NIO can bring you. Personally, I've never had a need for a car. I really enjoy not having a car. But when I do have a car, I really enjoy, for me again, it's like a tool to experience fun things. At this point in my life, I'm very focused on just enjoying my life and not having stress in my life. Like, I don't want any of that nonsense. So the fact that a car can bring me joy and not bring me pain is a really good thing, and I really appreciate NIO for that, with all the services they provide and all the community they provide. NIO really focuses on the entire experience, like a holistic experience of owning a car, and I think they really focused on that in the ET5 Touring video, and they didn't focus on just complete rubbish like, our window is bulletproof glass. Like, that's a very uniquely, distinctly, unfortunately American thing to focus on. But it gets lots of clicks, it gets lots of eyeballs, lots of views. And, that's just the world we live in. That's what, we deal in this really fast-paced attention economy where, you want to get eyeballs at any cost. And it's unfortunate that, having like a real kind of grounded experience is not something that you can really very easily share with people over the internet. But I really appreciate that NIO tried to do it with, the photographer and with the surfer. And even just going out on the track with, it's not a very normal experience, don't get me wrong, but you could see how much fun they were having. Those kind of things that they share, they speak more to me than, can I hit my car with a sledgehammer? Maybe I'm broken in my brain and I like real experiences. The second thing that I really liked about the presentation last night was NIO really showed that they are a global company. I really don't think that they're embarrassed by their Chinese roots, but I do think that it's very important for NIO to show that their team is global. They have designers in Germany and England. They have software developers in Silicon Valley. It was definitely good to see Shanghai in the video and, acknowledge that they're Chinese also. But I liked that it was less about executives talking, whether it's European executives or Chinese executives, and more about the people who actually make the cars and the users who experience the cars. I think that showing more of Europe and showing more of Europeans, of course, is going to hopefully help to eliminate some of the stigma of being Chinese. It's unfortunate that China has that stigma. I mentioned it before, but the reason why China makes garbage products a lot of the time is because that's what we in the West, we demand. We want cheap Walmart crap. That's just how it works, but China can also make really amazing things. DJI drones, iPhones, and NIO cars, or even Tesla cars. It's pretty well regarded that Tesla in China makes the best Teslas. So, the stigma they have is unfortunate, but I think by showing more of being a global brand is really important. In my opinion, last night's presentation was a better kind of global product launch than previous things. I remember in other videos, I'm not sure which one, but I remember they would have maybe it was NIO Day. They're talking about globally the car is going to launch, around the world. But most of the features and tech and product talk is about stuff that's exclusive to China or launching in China way before other places. And so I thought this was definitely better focused on, a global launch and being a global company. And one little thing that I really like about what NIO does, and perhaps it's me being, I got my undergrad in geography, so I'm a trained geographer, I like to say that. I think it's really a nice touch that NIO always does in their videos is they add the latitude and longitude coordinates at the start of all their videos, their promotional videos. I think that's really cool, and it also goes to show you that, they're not a Chinese company, they're a global company, but probably most people don't even understand what a latitude and longitude coordinate is. They don't know what those numbers are. So maybe it doesn't mean that much to other people, but it's kind of like a cute Easter egg for me. I like it. And then one other thing that really makes a huge difference, in my opinion, in their video last night was, I've mentioned this before, but they have subtitles on their old videos, on their presentations at NIO Day, at Shanghai Auto Show just a month or two ago, where the text on the subtitles is all white. And you can't read it when they're in front of white backgrounds or whatever, right? They don't weight the text at all. And like, finally, at long last, they added like a little background kind of shadow. There's different ways to weight the text, like with outlines or drop shadows, that sort of thing. So they finally did that. They finally learned. Took them far too long, but like, I'm really glad that they continue to get better at these presentations. I think, like I said last night, I think it was spot on. I'd give them an A. My feeling for that presentation was very entertaining, quick, to the point. Not an A+, wasn't perfect, but much improved from where they've been in the past. So I really like that. And I guess my impressions of the car, I haven't yet seen it, so I don't really want to talk too much about it. And will it sell in Europe? I have no idea. I've seen already people kind of complaining about the price in Europe once again. And I don't know if people complaining about the price actually translates to real world people not buying the car because it's too expensive. Because if you want the car and you have the money, you're going to buy it. You're not going to go online and complain about it. You can't please everybody. I hope the car succeeds in Europe. I don't know. Now in China, there's really only the Zeekr 001, which is like a station wagon electric in China, and that's been doing very well, especially recently. It's really starting to ramp up. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that does head to head against the ET5 Touring. Now, one kind of concern I have about the ET5 Touring versus the ET5 is maybe they will cannibalize sales of each other, which is unfortunate because they're the exact same starting price. So I would have thought that at least the ET5 Touring would maybe be like 10,000 RMB more expensive to start, which is like $1,600. Usually NIO always has the prices like 298, 318, 338. So maybe right now the cheapest ET5 is 228. I would have guessed ET5 Touring 238. But it's not. They're exactly the same. So hopefully that doesn't mean ET5 sales will completely dry up. I don't know. It's going to be fascinating to see both against the 001 and against the ET5 Standard Edition what happens in the future. But I really think they do have a cool product, and I'm thinking I'm going to have my hands on one for some extended testing soon, but probably not till July. We'll see about that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments about everything I said here, and I will talk to you guys in the future. Appreciate everything. Goodbye.